All right, let's dive into a bit of a digital detective story. We're going to unravel the world's first ever discovered malicious server for AI assistance and see how it turned a genuinely helpful tool into a silent data stealing machine.
We're giving these AI tools more and more power to handle all our tedious tasks. We trust them. But what happens when that trust is completely betrayed? What if the tool you rely on every single day has a secret? Just imagine this for a second. A tool that's supposed to help you is actually working against you on a massive scale. It's not hacking you from the outside. It's using the exact permissions you willingly gave it to become an insider threat, forwarding your most confidential information straight to an attacker. And look, this isn't some what-if scenario. Based on what are probably very conservative estimates, this one malicious tool was capable of stealing up to 15,000 sensitive emails every single day from hundreds of different organizations. Okay, so let's get into the specifics of this digital heist. First things first, we need to meet the culprit. A software package that seemed so helpful, developers were downloading it 1,500 times a week. The package was called Postmark-mcp. Now that last part, MCP, is super important. Think of MCPs as tools that give AI assistants superpowers, the ability to actually interact with the real world, like sending emails, all without a human needing to click send. But what's really shocking here isn't just that this happened. It's how it happened. The attacker didn't use some super complex piece of malware. They used something way simpler, an elegant, tiny backdoor.
Yeah, the security researchers who took this thing apart didn't need to write some huge, complicated report. In their own words, the backdoor was embarrassingly simple. It didn't exploit some brand new vulnerability. It exploited our blind trust in the system itself.
So check this out. This is just how simple we're talking. The attacker took a totally legit email tool and, way down on line 231, added one single line of code. That's it. That one line secretly added a blind carbon copy address to every single email the AI sent out. It basically created this unwanted passenger on every message, siphoning data directly to an address at a domain called giftshop.club.
So you're probably asking, how on earth did one little line of malicious code get installed inside hundreds of companies? Well, the attacker didn't just drop this thing and hope for the best. No, they played the long game. This was a patient, deliberate strategy of deception. This was no quick smash and grab job. No way. The attacker released 15 perfectly clean and functional versions of the tool first. Over months, developers started to really rely on it. It became what the researchers called trusted infrastructure. And only then, in version 1.0116, was the backdoor quietly slipped in. And this contrast is where the deception is just brilliant in a really scary way. On the surface, everything looked perfect. The developer wasn't some anonymous account. He was supposedly a software engineer from Paris, using his real name, with a legit-looking GitHub profile. He looked totally trustworthy, but the reality was way, way more sinister. So here's the bigger picture. This attack wasn't just about one bad guy. It was really a warning shot that exposed these deep, systemic flaws in the very foundation of how we're building and using these new AI tools. The whole problem really starts with the insane amount of power we're just handing over. Developers are installing tools from, let's be honest, random strangers on the internet, and giving them what security experts call God mode permissions, the ability to send our emails, hit our databases, and run commands, all without any real vetting. And unlike pretty much any other software world, there are basically zero guardrails here. It's the Wild West. There's no sandbox to limit what the tool can do, no containment, nothing. The AI just blindly executes commands. It has no way of asking, hey, should I really be sending a copy of this confidential invoice to giftshop.club? It just does what it's told. So what this incident really lays bare is a system that's built almost entirely on faith, not verification. We're trusting developers we can't possibly vet, using tools that AI assistants run on their own hundreds of times a day, often completely outside of our normal security checks. The whole model is just fundamentally broken. So the backdoor gets discovered. End of story, right? Case closed? Well, not so fast. The developer tried to cover his tracks, but the danger didn't just go away. It's still lingering out there.
As soon as he was confronted, the developer deleted the package from the public registry to try and erase the evidence. But here's the really critical part. That action does absolutely nothing for anyone who already has it installed. Every single compromised system stays compromised, still silently leaking emails. The attacker's basically banking on the fact that victims won't even realize they're still infected.
All right, so for anyone who might be affected, here are the specific nitty-gritty details you need to check for. The package is Postmark-mcp on NPM. You're looking for version 1.016 or any version after that, and you need to scan for any traffic or email logs that point to the domain giftshop.club.
And if you find this thing on your systems, the advice from security teams is crystal clear and super urgent. Uninstall the package immediately. Go through all your email logs and figure out what data might have been stolen. And most importantly, change any passwords, API keys, or any other credentials that might have been exposed.
You know, at the end of the day, the biggest takeaway from the researchers who uncovered this is simple, but it's powerful. In this brand new landscape of AI-powered tools where we have so little visibility, a healthy dose of skepticism isn't just an option. It's absolutely essential for survival. And that really leaves us with one final, kind of chilling question to think about. This whole attack was so devastating precisely because the tool was trusted. It really makes you wonder, as we bring more and more of these helpful little packages into our daily work, how many of them are just one small, seemingly harmless update away from turning on us?